introduce yourself. N'abaana bo batandike okweyogerako.
Okay. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, diaspora here in North America. My name is Salongo Chigondo here in Chicago. I am very excited to be a part of this evening's broadcast, a special edition, and we're going to be talking to the UNAA youth. A little bit about me. The host, my co-host, introduced me as a media consultant, and I think I'm going to say I've earned that since my efforts began in this arena back in 2019 when we hosted the convention here in Chicago. I am very happy to be doing this for the Uganda North American Association. And as you can see in my background, yes, and many of you, if you have not been checking your emails, the next site and location for the next UNAA convention was selected in San Francisco. It is going to be at the Hilton Union Square. Be looking out for more messaging about that, or check your emails. But other than that, I am very excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for joining us, Mr. Chigundu. I am going to go forward and ask the ladies to introduce themselves. I think that the gentleman in the house, other than ourselves, will be introducing himself last. So why don't I start with Zash or Ziada? Nice to have you back. Miss Ziada, introduce yourself, please.
Yes. Hello, everyone. This is Ziada Nanteza, and I'm back here from Columbus, Ohio. I'm the female youth representative, UNAA, and so excited to be here. I've been here before, and I'm always looking forward to be here. Thank you.
Always a pleasure to have you. Carol Basemera, who are you and why are you excited to be here?
Hi, my name is Carol Basemera. I'm the female youth representative for Canada. I'm happy to be here because I like education. I like to talk to the parents and the students who want to join college. I want to encourage them that this is a good thing and it will definitely help them in the future. So I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to talk to you, Henry, about this and to the rest of the people. Yeah, let's do this.
All right, let's do this, but not before the gentleman in the house introduces himself. So, Mr. Farouk, what's going on?
Good evening, Henry. My name is Farouk. I'm the male youth representative for the United States. I'm happy to be here to talk about education and the progress through the high school education system of the United States. I want to thank everybody for attending and participating today.
Right. Thank you so much again for joining this conversation. Abasinga obungi mukimanyi nti nange ndi mugezaako kupashuinga misomo era nga ndi mukola misomo gyange egya PhD kulaba nti tutegeera ebintu bino bigenda bitya. I'm a specialist in educational policy, so this conversation is really close to my heart.
Okay, so if kids have aspired to go to college and they've made a decision, perhaps in consultation with their parents, where they want to go to college, what strategies do they need to kind of consider in order for them to get into, for example, get scholarships? Because I know that that could be a help to the parents as well as the kids.
Right. Who wants to devour that question? Ani dalala tunyumyambo nyumya tetwagala bintu bifula byamaanyi nnyo tunyumyambo nyumya tukoze tutya Ziada scholarships tuzijewa.
Scholarships at soccer, students have like to perform well in school. Never have like scholarship from their colleges or from the counties where they reside or from the state, something like that. But Nzenganze, for my case, what I did, like to get my scholarship, I joined the military. And I ended up like the first place I had like student loans nebanyamba nebazicoveringa. Then I was able to get Montgomery GI Bill, so which pays for my tuition and gives me upkeep every month as long as I'm in school. So such things, that's what I would like advise about parents to look into. Like, I really have here the details about joining the military and how it goes and how it works out. So I have all that with me. And about the state, the other thing, there are federal grants. That's what I wanted to mean. There are federal grants. A lot of students qualify for federal grants. That's what I also used. I used federal grants, but unfortunately, I was just new at that time in the country, so they considered me as an international student. The federal grants couldn't cover for my education. Then I also had a scholarship from school, which was like $1,000 every semester. It was really good for me. I used it. So I encourage students when they go in, parents should be so much supportive to their students. Kubanga okola kumenya abana, like they be working and they go to school. It affects their school. So those are the things that affects their chances of getting scholarship from school. But those scholarships are available everywhere. And for the military, that's a sure deal. As long as you raise up your right hand and say that you will join the United States Army and serve, you qualify to get the GI Bill, then you qualify to get the tuition assistance from the military, and you also, if you're National Guard, you will go to all state schools for free. So obela na 3 different sources of income, and you can still pull out that income at the same time. You can get the income from the state, you can get the income from the FAFISA, which is like the federal grants and the other loans, but you don't have to take the loans out. And then you can get tuition assistance at the same time, and you can use your GI Bill. So one semester you end up finding yourself, you have like 4 different sources of tuition, and you don't even have to work. If you qualify for everything, you don't have to work. You just have to use that money and take care of yourself.
All right. Thank you so much. You brought in the aspect of the Army, which I think I really appreciate that you brought it in for everyone in the US at least to take consideration of. In Canada, we do have a similar program. It's called the Cadet. Although that one is restricted to people or to teenagers between 12 years to 18. So 12, you're not yet a teenager, but you are getting into the teenage bracket. So if you are 12 to 18, you can take advantage of the cadet program. Become a cadet, a Canadian cadet, so that you can take advantage of some of those scholarships or grants that might be available for you. But Farouk talked about the PSATs. Could that also be an avenue to getting more scholarships? Farouk, why don't you talk about scholarships in your own realm as well?
I would say that the aspects that concern scholarships and getting scholarships begin with the 5 things that I believe are the most important for, not I believe, but the 5 actual things that affect your ability to get into college, right? Top grades. You have to get really good grades. Not the top, but really good grades to a certain point. Most scholarships have a GPA that they require. Most scholarships will require 3.0, 3.2, whatever it is, right? You have to perform well on standardized tests. Remember, you have to practice for standardized tests. Standardized tests do not test anything you've learned in school. They test your problem-solving skills, right? Scholarships are going to look at your score on standardized tests. You have to have meaningful extracurricular activities, right? These are activities that you're doing either completely away from school or part of school. This could be your things like your sports. This could be your volunteership. This could be your helping out at the local assisted living, right? Things that show your otherworldly skills, like being compassionate, being communicative, being entrepreneurial. You have to have letters of recommendation. Someone has to be able to speak on your behalf. It's not enough for you to say that you're a good student. Someone has to come out and say, yes, so-and-so is a good student, right? And that person is most usually going to be a teacher or someone of authority in your life. You can use people like your pastors if they can credibly give good information about you and talk about your character.
Yeah.
You have to have compelling essays. You have to know how to tell your own story, right? A lot of scholarships will ask you to write an essay about a time you had a difficult time, right? And you have to know how to tell your story. Those are some of the things that will affect your ability to get scholarships. You get all these links, but applying for a scholarship is its own thing, where you have to have done these 5 things prior to that.
Right. Right. We do have an international student. Carol, I know, Carol, you came in as an international student. Do you have, could you tell us some of your experiences? Is there a possibility that one could actually qualify for grants when they get into university, or some sort of, they may not be direct scholarships. I know in Africa, there are some direct scholarships, for example, that are offered by the MasterCard Foundation. Also the Pearson scholarships are also given to African and I think South American students. But as an international student yourself, are there any options? An international student in Canada or the US, and they came from Uganda, they're international students, and they're wondering, how do I take care of my rent? I'm running low on my rent. Are there any grants within universities when they get into university that they can access or apply for?
Thank you, Henry, for the question. Yes, like you said, I'm an international student, and I've associated with people who have actually gotten these grants and also have scholarships. And it's usually because they've either performed exceptionally well in their classes, but that's for the first year. So if you perform well, you're on the dean's list, then you can apply for the scholarship, and that caters for your stay in Canada. That is the tuition and your allowances for the semester. Also, if you're good in sports, like if you're a soccer player and you're in the team, you'll definitely get a scholarship or grant, and that is going to definitely support you through your program at school. It's encouraged to do that because it's very expensive. It's very expensive out here to study. So if you feel like you're good at a sports activity, why not do it and be able to, that will help you cater for your school here. Yeah, that's the most I can say about the scholarships and grants in Canada.
Thank you so much. This is the state of the nation. We are deliberate, we are reasonable, we are uncensored. The state of the nation with Henry Salo. Tugoberere ku YouTube ne ku Facebook omanye biki ebigenda maaso. If you're a student out there and you have questions, please post them in the comments section so that we can get into your mind. I would like to have everyone participate in this conversation. Send your questions in the comments. Let us know what you're thinking. Mr. Chigundu.
Yes.
Kiki kyogambe eggwanga?
Ate nze lwakuba nti bano batunulira nga bakulembeze still, and I'm very interested in the fact that they did step up to become leaders, right? And they were entrusted in these positions. So I'm still curious about their thoughts when it comes to the aspect of getting scholarships. have you guys thought about how the community can come in? For example, the Uganda North American Association. Have you thought about that angle? How can we, the community, assist the parents as well as their kids in getting these scholarships? Any thoughts?
Carol,
Yes.
do you want to take on that, or
Yeah.
who wants to take it on?
I can take it on, although I see Farouk very.
Yes,
Farouk, I'll go fast. This first is our first initiative to put it out there, because we're youth representatives. This is our first step to put it out more. This is the first step to introduce it to the audience out there. And African as under the UNAA encourage people to attend the consecutive sessions that we shall have in the future, and the town hall that we'll have, that will greatly go into depth of what we want to talk about: education, about college, about universities, how to prepare, and what to do to get to that level.
Yeah. Right.
All right.
Farouk.
Yes, I agree with what Carol is saying. There will be future consecutive talks about the presentation, and that presentation will be more detailed. But right now, what can the community do, the organization UNA do to help people get scholarships? I think UNA has to recognize its potential as a leadership organization that will look good on any applicant's resume, to say that I am a youth representative for UNA, I am an intern for UNA, I am a collaborator for UNA. All these people, all these things are things that UNA can put forth and say, we can help students collaborate in terms of growth, right? For example, high school students out there who want to participate in, let's say, film, who want to participate in volunteer opportunities, they can come and do those things under UNA's leadership, and let UNA recognize them, put them front and center, give them certificates, let them be seen, such that the day that they go and apply for a scholarship, they have an entire organization backing them, right? There's professionals in UNA, accountants, lawyers, doctors, this and that. All these people can be there to be mentors. All these people can be there to be to help these students be their intern advisors, right? All this is a way to walk a child through a scholarship opportunity that makes them compete better than other applicants for the scholarships that will put them through school in most cases.
Right.
Nice. Yes. So, well, thank you very much, Farouk. I would like to hear Zash, if she has some. Oh, looks like she maybe have stepped away. But I was going to say, I wanted to hear what she thinks. Have we been encouraging, for example, our parents? Do we have enough information about how to go through the Army and the advantages that come from there in terms of scholarships? Let's take stock. My mommy said, let's take stock of where we are. We started with how to get into college, the expectations, and we've looked at how to get scholarships, right? So the next thing would be what Carol brought up, which is, and Farouk followed, is that this is just the beginning. We are now getting into the very detail of this conversation. This is just an opener and also a hint as to what is going to come down the pipe, right? So, and today, I think I go back to the strategize and leadership capabilities of our youth. I am happy that you chose to say, let us go to the media and let's talk to the media about this so that we prepare the community for what is coming down next. Can you, Farouk, highlight a little more about, let us articulate this clearly. What is going to come down the pipe after this? What should the community expect?
Thank you for the question. The community, what we're trying to put together at the moment as an organization, UNA, is, first of all, this comes from Cincinnati. When we were campaigning, right, a lot of parents asked that the education system is hard to maneuver, right, to raise a Ugandan child here and get them through the system. And they look at you as someone who's either in the system or who has gotten through the system, and they say, how did you do this? How did you do that? What do I do with this? What do I do with that? How does my kid go from 10th grade? What should they be doing now that they're not doing, right? And so we found that there's a need for information. A lot of parents have those questions, and the kids themselves look at you with reverence in the sense that they know that you're doing something that they want to do and they want your information. So what we decided to do is to come up with a presentation on the education systems, not as best as we understand them, but as best as the information out there. So we took what we knew and we composed information from out there. We did research. Originally, we wanted this particular presentation to happen end of October, much earlier, right? But as we did more research, we found that there's a lot of information that even we did not know. So we continue to gather that information and we continue to make extensions. And after coming up with this presentation, we find that it's not enough to just present this information on a website. It's not enough to just put it out there in PDFs. We have to do a town hall, right? Where we encourage people to come find out more, to come find out the impactfulness of this information, to come and participate and have their individual questions answered. So we're preparing a town hall for a future date where we shall expand on many of these things that we're talking about, because a lot of times you're hearing about them right now, just like you've heard about them before. You're hearing on the face value, but what is the preparation behind that? There's a lot of work you can do to prepare yourself for the SAT that we cannot go into full depth right now, but we encourage you to stay tuned for a town hall that will come in the future. And we encourage you to bring more people within your circles who have high school students, who have people who aspire to go to college, parents, to come and understand what is it that their participation role can be beyond just providing shelter and clothing, right? There's an active role you have to take in your child's journey to college as a parent.
Right.
All right, great. Oh, thank you.